Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about what team makes the most money in ERLC. So if you do enjoy this video or if it helps you out at all, please do like and subscribe as it helps out a lot. But let's get straight into this. Okay, so I did do a video like this a few months ago now, but we've had a lot more updates since then. We've had loads more new civilian jobs since then and probably more civilian jobs to come. And I thought it would be really good if I did an updated version. So we're going to go over every single team here. We're going to go over the roleplay jobs and we're going to go over all of these jobs as well. So we'll start off with civilian and all of the civilian jobs. So on the civilian team, you don't actually do anything unless you're a criminal. Now if you're a criminal and if you're good at being a criminal, if you know how to rob everything, if you know the fastest ways to make money as a criminal, like if you know what things you need to rob, what things you don't need to rob, which ones are most worth it, which ones you find easiest, then you will be able to make money a lot quicker. And the civilian team is probably the fastest way to make money. It's probably the best job, it pays the most, but we're not going to be talking about that. Aside from criminal, just a normal roleplay job, I'm going to be talking about which one gets the most money. So criminal probably makes the most money if you know what you're doing with it. Then again, it's not really that easy and it is quite hard and it's not really a roleplay job. And obviously then you've got normal civilian. You don't get any money from being a normal civilian, you just get normal money for driving around and playing the game. That's about it. You can't actually do anything really on this, so it's not really worth it too much. But then over here on roleplay jobs, we have postal worker, hospital worker, farmer and gas station. So if we go onto the gas station job right now, this is all a roleplay job, by the way. The only one that is actually functional is the postal job, but we'll go on to that later. So over here at the gas station, as you can see, there's two. There's one over there in the farms area, and then there's one in the city. So if you are here, you can walk up to this. You can press E. I'm wanted right now, so I can't. I will play that off though soon. And then once you're on this job, you can't do anything. You can stand here and people will come in if you're on a roleplay server, so you don't need to worry about that. Or you can spawn in a tanker and you can drive your tanker around, but the tanker again is only for roleplay purposes. You can't actually do anything in it. On the gas station job, you can't make any money really. However, you do get money for just for like being like on shift. I don't exactly remember what it's called, but at the top when you get your paycheck or whatever it is for the day, then you will get a bit more extra money for being on one of the teams and actually like role playing. So you do get money by role playing, but not too much. It's the same with the tanker as well. So if we go to the next one, which is hospital worker. Now I haven't really been on hospital worker too much, so I'm not actually sure. But if we head over to the hospital, there are two different jobs. Well, technically three, but we'll go on to the other one later on. So there's the doctor and there's the nurse. Now the nurse and the doctor I think will make about the same amount, but again I think it's just those roleplay jobs like the tanker and working at the gas station. All it is really is just roleplay. People will come in, you can roleplay helping them or giving them care if they're in the hospital. And yeah, so if you want to roleplay that, then you can. You will get money for roleplaying it nicely, but there isn't actually anything you can do to make more money, so you just have to work there, roleplay it, and you will get money in your paycheck again eventually. And then if you're on the ambulance team, which is on fire and rescue, we'll go on to that later, but I think you will get a little more from that, but we'll go on to why that is later on. So the next one we have is the farmer. Now the farmer is over here at the barn, so if we drive over there, there isn't actually anything you can do on this team again. I am just going to go and pay off my bounty before we go over there actually, so I can actually join the team and show you guys. But if we head over to the sheriff's office quickly to pay off our bounty, here we go. My car is almost on fire I think, but that should be fine. Okay, so the farming job is over at the barn, so we'll head over there right now. So we're just approaching there now. Hopefully my car won't set on fire. But so with the farming job, there's only one vehicle and that's the tractor, and you can't actually do anything on that job. So I think I should be able to join it now, can I? Yes, I can. Okay. Right, so you have this nice uniform on all of the jobs, by the way. The uniform is really nice. And then you have the tractor. Now you have to buy the tractor and all of the other vehicles for each of the teams. But once you've bought them and things, they are really fun to roleplay with. So the tractor looks really nice, I'm not gonna lie. I love the detail of this tractor. But yeah, so all you can do with this team is roleplay. Once again, you can't actually do any farming, you can only roleplay. You have a few tools, like we have the garden tool here. If you left click, it does some animations. We also have the rake, and then we have the shovel as well. But none of these actually do anything. You can just roleplay a little bit there. If you have some of your friends as well, then you can do that. But yeah, so again, it's the same with the farmer job and the hospital job and the gas station job. It is all just roleplay. However, if you are roleplaying on here, then you will actually get some money again in your paycheck for being on the team. So I'm going to give a review at the end which team is the best, but right now we're just doing the civilian jobs. So the next, or the final civilian team is the postal job, and this one is one where you actually like have jobs to do. So if I just quit my job here, quit job, and then we walk up here again and we start our job. So on the postal team you can actually do things. So if you collect the mail here from these boxes at the back, and then you spawn in your mail cart, again you do have to buy the mail truck. So that obviously will take a lot of money away from you if you're doing this team to make money. However, all of these teams are just there like for roleplay purposes. And as you can see, you will get 4 packages in your inventory. Some will be like envelopes, some will be boxes. And you can see around the map we've got all of these exclamation marks. So sometimes they'll be over at the farm, sometimes they'll be over by the sheriff's office, sometimes they'll be in the housing suburbs and you just have to drive over to them. When you get there, it will tell you what package it is, so it doesn't matter what order you go in. The quickest way is definitely to go towards the farm first, then down to the housing suburbs, and then if you have one in the sheriff's office you can go there. If you don't, just go to the farms, the housing suburbs, and then cut across over the wooden bridge back towards the thingy where you can then obviously re-get your re-get more packages. So as you can see, I just delivered that one, and it doesn't give you money like straight off the bat. But again, all of the money in this game comes from paychecks on the civilian jobs and on the roleplay jobs as well. And other teams like fire and rescue and police and stuff. But the more jobs you do like during that day before your paycheck will determine like how much you get each time. So if you do like loads and loads of deliveries on the mail job, then you will get more money in your paycheck at the end, because that is how you will get the money. That's how you get money in this game. As a civilian or on the roleplay job. So if we head over now to here, we can join on the sheriff or the police team next. So they're both the same. We just go on the police team because I prefer the police to the sheriff. And once you're on here, so there are a few ways I said in my old video that you could get money, but they're actually not working anymore. They either patched them or they didn't really work in the first place. So on the police team, we have a few things we can do. So if we just spawn in a car right now, we'll get in any car, it doesn't really matter which car. With the police team, you don't get any money by arresting people or giving people citations. You do get XP from that, but that's a different video that we might do in the future. But to get money from these different teams, what you need to do is you'll need to have your radio open so you can see calls, and then from there, if we get a call, so for example, it will say like robbery, ATM robbery, or jewelry store robbery, or things like that in the police radio, and they're what you have to respond to. So if you put in the radio, like if you press Y on your quick radio, and then you press en route when you see a call, the game will register that, and then when you're there, if you go on scene, then the game will also register that, and then if you do respond to that robbery, like the game will just know that you're like at the robbery if it happens and you go there. That will add up to your total pay at the end. So responding to these calls will add up to your pay at the end of the day where you'll get your paycheck. So it's the same with every other team. We'll talk about the fire and rescue and DOT in a moment. But that's how you get your money on these teams like police, fire and rescue and DOT, is by responding to the actual calls. So that's the police team. You don't get any money anywhere else except from responding to the calls. Now if we head onto the fire and rescue, this is what I was talking about with the nurse one earlier. So we have ambulances on here, and you actually do get calls with ambulances. Say if someone is injured and the police like call an ambulance, or someone goes on their cell phone, they go emergency services, fire and rescue, and then they, if you respond there in an ambulance, then just like the police team responding to a robbery, the game will note that, and then it will add on to your total pay at the end of the day. So that's really cool that there is that. On the nurse and doctors team, you don't get those calls, so you don't quite get as much, I think. I'm not exactly sure on that though. And obviously it's the same with the fire trucks as well. If you respond to fires, then obviously the game will register that. And you can also respond to fires in the ambulance as well, and put them out. Not the most realistic if you want to roleplay, but you can do that if you want to. And then finally we have the DOT team. So if we go and join that real quick, then whoa, what just happened with that grass? So if we join this team real quick, here we go. Then you can spawn in any of these cars. Now I recommend the tow truck because you will get more you know, you'll get more kind of jobs from this. So because if there are like vehicles that need towing or impounded vehicles, then you can do that in a tow truck, but in a normal car you can't. So the normal calls for DOT are like tire repairs, refilling someone's fuel if they've run out, although generally people just respawn their car and then go and grab fuel that way. But yeah, so you can tow vehicles on this, and you can repair traffic lights in this as well, whereas in the other DOT vehicles you can only repair traffic lights because the other ones aren't tow trucks. So if you're going to be making money on the DOT team, it doesn't really make too much money, but again, it's the same concept. The more calls you respond to, the more money you get, and the more money the game registers, so the more, you know, money you will get. So it's really good if you respond to loads and loads of calls. Obviously you can still roleplay while making money. However, if you want to get XP, it's a slightly different story, but I will make another video on that. If you want, let me know in the comments. But yeah, so overall, in my opinion, the best teams to get money on are probably the roleplay jobs as a civilian, and probably the postal worker, and maybe the firefighter or the police. The DOT not so much, but I definitely think the postal one is a good one to do, because you can deliver lots of posts to houses, and you will get money at the end for delivering those posts. But yeah, the criminal obviously as well is the most efficient way, but that's not really a roleplay. So if you want to roleplay, postal, police or fire will work best for you, and obviously sheriff and police are the same, so again sheriff. And if you want to use DOT, then you can. There isn't really too much of a variation between how much money each job gives you. So yeah, I really hope this helped you out, or you enjoyed it at all. If you did, please like and subscribe, as it helps out a lot. Remember to join my Discord server, links below. We have an amazing community over there, and we also do some Robux giveaways. And if you want to be in my role plays, make sure you join my recording server, which is also linked in the description. And you can also follow me on Twitter and follow me on Roblox, as well as joining my Roblox group. And if you want to support me even more, then you can buy my merchandise and possibly even some of my donations. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.
I'm sick of lying here all alone and nearly sleepless at night. I'm honest, it's boring. 1,000,000 demons surrounding me, picking a fight. It's toxic.